morning, everybody, and welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm Kim, and this is my podcast all about knitting and spinning and dyeing of yarn, all of which I do from my home right here outside of Lima, Ohio. And I forgot to bring my show notes up before I started, so because I'm afraid I'll forget something if I don't have them up. Um, Anyways, today is April 7th, and this is what I'm going to mess up if I don't have my show notes, which episode it is. Um, today is April 7th, 2020. My phone is going to act very slow now. There we go. Sorry. Usually I'm very ready. Well, I try to be. And this is episode 205. You guys were probably out there shouting it at me. Silly, you knew last week was 204. Somehow that doesn't always matter. I tend to forget things anyways. Boy, when I woke up this morning, it was a very dreary day. And now you can actually see some blue in the sky right now. So I'm very happy about that. Anyways, back to my intro. You can find me on Ravelry. My individual account is NapiersKnits. I'm going to lower this a little bit if I can do it without making it fall. NapiersKnits, and then we have a Ravelry podcast group called Naturally Kim's Knitting Podcast Group. Yay! Then I'm on Instagram as knittin_Kim, and you can find me as Naturally Kim's Knitting on WordPress, Blogger, and YouTube. Okay, introductory stuff which I know you guys can all recite back to me almost word for word, except when I put little things in there. Anyways, we have a couple of knit-alongs going on. I'm sorry, it's just so beautiful out. I'm trying to put pictures at the beginning of the videos out my back door and out my side window so that everybody can see how it changes each week. And my forsythia's in bloom, and my, daffodils are out, and it's just really lovely. Anyways, we do have a couple of knit-alongs going on right now, or craft-alongs. I don't mean knit-alongs. The one is the finished object for April, which is one that I hold every month. I just change it, from March to April, Anyways, all you have to do for that is to take a picture of any finished object that you've made. Doesn't matter the craft that you do. If you're into woodworking, like I've said before, finish the object, take a picture of it, and post it. If you're into knitting or crocheting, do the same thing. Tatting, that's something you don't see very often. Sewing, any of these things, go ahead and put them in there. And then at the end of the month, oh, and I'm sorry, when you post it, if there is a pattern name, please put the pattern name with it, because, people like me just can't get enough patterns. I'd heard once this saying, and I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I guess I'm a believer that she who dies with the most patterns wins. Because if I see a free pattern and it looks halfway like I might like making it, it's in my queue. Anyway, so after you post it, post every finished object that you do, because at the end of the month, if I have 1 to 10 entries, I have one winner. If I have 10 to 20, I have 2. 20 to 30, I have 3, and so on. And what can the winners win? Well, the winners can win a $10 gift card to either Knit Picks or to Amazon, or they can win a giftable pattern from Ravelry for up to $10. How about that? Like I said, I'm one of those believers that she or he who has the most patterns wins. Okay, those things, like I said, can be posted on the Naturally Kim's Knitting podcast thread in Ravelry, or if you want to, you can post them on WordPress or Blogger under the Naturally Kim's Knitting blogs. And let's see, that's the winners for this month, which I have a lot of prayers out there for people because of coronavirus hitting, the hot spots. The numbers in Ohio are climbing, but praise God, right now they're gradual. But they're saying we're going to hit the peak possibly next week or the following week. So everybody is in my prayers. We have another craft. Well, this is basically a knit or crochet along because you're not going to find too many patterns on Ravelry for other things. But it's a 2-month craft along for any free Ravelry pattern. Any free pattern. Okay, and you can make as many as you want to. Once again, it's a 2-month craft along. Pick a free pattern from Ravelry. Take a picture when it's finished. Post it along with any details. I mean, if you want to, please put the name of the pattern if you can, and the designer if you can. If you want to put what kind of yarn you use or anything like that, feel free. It's always kind of interesting to see all that. And there are a lot of free patterns out there, including any of my patterns. So feel free to pick 1, 2, 3, whatever, and work on them during the next 2 months. I will draw for that on June 1st, I believe. This is April, May, yeah, June 1st. Oh, my phone's talking to me. What can the winner win on that? Well, you can win any giftable pattern from Ravelry for up to $10. I might possibly say if you want a Knit Picks card for that for $10, that could be thrown in there too. I like to support Knit Picks. They are one of my affiliates. Amazon, I didn't have enough sales for them to keep going with me, but I still promote Amazon because I shop Amazon quite a bit. In fact, I've got a lot of things coming in the next couple days. Okay, so, and once again, you can post those on my WordPress or Blogger, Naturally Kim's Knitting posts if you want to, instead of posting it in Ravelry, or you could post it in Ravelry. I combine all the winners all the people together, and I do random number generator, and I number them, you know, like if I have 10 entries on Ravelry, then I'll start number 11 on WordPress and start, you know, the next one for or however I do it. So my winners are very random, but I do use random number generator. And once again, the number of winners depends on the number of entries. Now, I did put a few links on my show notes that that you could go to if you want, if you can't think of any free patterns that you have right now. I have a sock pattern. I won't do it because it's top down. I don't do that unless I have to. Sorry. My puppy has to announce when anybody goes in and out of the house. Mainly because she wants to go too. Jen. Sorry about that. Then I have another one, I know, for a shawl, and another sock that's top down. Like I said, I don't care for those, but that doesn't mean you guys don't. Now, I want to show, usually I go to what's on my needles, but I want to show you a finished object that I have first. Because this is a pattern test, and she said we can do this. From, I'm assuming it's Triona Designs. It could be Triona, but I think it's Triona. Now, I have finished this, but I'm not happy with it. I mean, nothing about the pattern. It's the yarn I chose. My granddaughter, I love her so much, and she loves purple as much as I do. Purple just does not come out on this camera the way it should. I don't know why. Anyway, so she got me this Yarnspiration Corone latte cakes, and it's a bulky weight. But I didn't know what to do with it because I really can't make chemo caps out of it because these little threads that are out here, those can irritate a child who's lost their hair due to chemotherapy. What I could do is make some hats for Soup Kitchen or Spread the Bread. We have Spread the Bread, Spread the Thread at our church. We're not having it this month, of course, but we do it once a quarter. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. We might be doing it this month, but we have to do it differently because usually people come from their cars into the church, get their bags of grocery, and then they can look through clothes. We're not doing the clothes, and we're trying to decide how we can do the groceries. So we may or may not be. But, you know, they take clothing items and things, and for that, I could probably use this. But let me show you Triona's design. It is a lovely design. Beautiful. Unfortunately, I wouldn't normally wear it down like this. You really can't see the design. I suppose you can see it a little bit here, but you really can't see too much of the design on here. And that is such a shame. I'm still going to turn it into her as, you know, what kind of yarn not to use. But I'm going to make more of this pattern, and I will include those in my page on Ravelry. I just not happy with that one. Anyways, I thought she had a name for this. Well, let me show you the pictures that, oh, the triaxial hat. And it is lovely. And you can make it for babies or you can make it for adults. And all you have to do is change the kind of yarn you use. For adults, you use bulky. For children, you use worsted weight. And the needle sizes. For adults, you use, what size did I have to use for that? US 10, and for kids, babies, it's US 7. And they say double point needles too with those. Babies, they recommend double point needles, and then adults, circular and double point. But let me show you, let me get my little yellow. I want to make this bigger if I can. This is on Knit Companion. I love Knit Companion. If I can download a pattern and put it on here, that's what I like to do. And she did say we could show these. So I'm going to try to get this up as close as I can so you can kind of see the pattern. Isn't that lovely? So this will be available for sale sometime soon. It's not yet. But like I said, I'm going to turn mine in. My pup's announcing that my father-in-law's in again. I do love it. I love all her designs. I pattern tested for her before. And so I was so excited when so many times a pattern test will come through to me, but it was released like the night before. Because usually after noon, I don't like to be on the computer if I can help it. I mean, right now it's 12:06, and it bothers me to know I'm still on the computer. But, you know, I really want to talk with you guys. So a lot of times the pattern test will be released the night before, and they will be filled by the time I get there in the morning. And you know, like I love doing the knitting expat designs. I love doing CC's. I love doing Trionas. So, you know, there's certain ones I just absolutely love doing, and I get so sad when either I don't have the yarn right then, or the time frame's too small, or it's filled up. But I was blessed when Triona's was available. This is a lovely design. Oh, and I might have a surprise for you, but not yet. I was talking to Mila the other day, Mila Varner, who's Mila's Knit Corner, who we just did a knit along with. And I was asking how she was. Because she has children that I don't think she'd mind, that they have to have a special diet and everything. And I was worried that perhaps they may have, you know, caught something with all this. And she said right now they're healthy, but she's doing her homeschooling and everything. But then she said she would love to offer a free pattern. She'll give a code to me for any of my followers to use. So I haven't got it yet, but when I do, I'll put it in the next podcast. Okay? Now I'm going to go what's on my needles. I do have something else that I have finished, but I'll show you what's on my needles first. I just wanted to show you Triona's because it's on my Kindle, and I didn't want to, I wanted to be able to put those aside. Now that I think about it, I will make more hats out of that. It'll be for grown-ups, because really it's not itchy, but you just know how sensitive a child's scalp is. So, anyways, these are my purple socks made from the WYS yarn, and it's the yarn that is a beautiful purple, but it's not going to look purple to you because for some reason my computer likes to show it as blue. But it's not, and this is the pattern I've been working on. Like I said, I will post it, and it will be free for a little bit. When I do post it, I don't have a name for it yet. Can you think of a name for it? I mean, it's not a difficult pattern at all, but it's just, I like it. It's pretty. And it's one of those things that once you get working on it, not tough at all. I just wanted a pair of pretty socks for myself. So this is one that I had worked on last week, and I actually, I have a record where I keep track of rows and everything. I want my socks to kind of match up as far as rows. And so I stopped on that one last week so I could work on this one, which I just picked up again last night because I've been focusing my knitting on the hat and on something else, which I'll show in a minute. So I just got a couple rows past the heel on this one right now. But I love this sock. I love this yarn. I love this pattern. I don't know what I'm going to call it. If you have any thoughts, let me know. And if I have more than one idea, I'll draw for it. And if I don't get any ideas, I'll have to ask my daughter. Oh! Or my granddaughter. Oh! Or my grandson. But then it'll be a dinosaur name. More about them in a little bit. Where did I put? I'm sorry about that. I have things on my computer desk where I don't usually have things. So when I'm reaching, I turn my camera off. I'm going to have to reach over in a minute. I'm doing things really in a weird order because now I'm showing a finished object. I finally finished my soup kitchen socks that I've been working on for a few weeks from the mermaid stripe. Aren't those lovely? I probably could have done a simple design on those, but with the colors on there, I was just thinking it's pretty enough without a design on them. What do you think? I love them. Now see, this is funny because the camera picks those colors up exactly as they are. And of course I did my ribbing on my heels. I like it that way. It helps them to grip your heel a little bit. Now excuse me, I have to bend over to get something. Because I've been working on Shakespeare in Love. I've been working on the sleeves, excuse me. I have to find a place to put my cable needle. If I have a shawl on, it makes a nice little shawl pin. Anyways, I've been working on the sleeves. And, uh-oh. So but people were commenting how my cables are so neat. And I have a cable here that's not so neat. But I'm not going to rip it out. It's for me. If it was a gift, I'd probably rip it out. But it's for me. Anyways, this is one sleeve. And this is the sleeve with the mistake in it. If you notice the one cable, it's not quite right. I don't know what I did there. I must have been daydreaming. But I like to work two sleeves at once. They didn't suggest that, but I like to do that. That way I make sure my sleeves are the same length, my patterns match up, and all of that. And that's Shakespeare in Love by Carol Sunday. And I'm using Wool of the Andes Superwash. I don't know if I've said Superwash before. In the colorway Red. I like this. It's going to be a nice sweater for my sweater collection. I don't have a whole bunch of sweaters, so that'll be nice. And like I said, when I finish it, I will wear it. That happens too quite often. Then my next socks that I'm going to make for the soup kitchen. This is another eBay find. And the only thing is, I didn't know the company at all. Wasn't sure. I mean, it's called Luxury Collection, but you know, that doesn't really, this is somebody's opinion. Well, let me tell you, this is KFI Luxury Collection Indulgence Merino. And it's merino and polyamide. Otherwise known as, you know, stretchy nylon type materials. And it's 150 grams, 426 yards. It's a number 2, but I'm still thinking I can make some nice socks out of there. 5.29 ounces. Isn't that amazing? Let's see, they suggest using US size 3 to 5 needles. We will see. But let's see, it doesn't have a color name, which is sad. It's color 1003, KFI Luxury Collection. Turn it right way. And I found a couple skeins like this. After I found this one, I went back to see what else was on eBay in this yarn company, and I found a couple more colors. So I'm very happy about that. It's kind of nice, you know. I didn't pay an arm and a leg. So when you're making for charity, you want to give them nice things, but you can't afford to go out and spend tons of money on the yarn and everything. So I like it that I know I can find a soft yarn that's going to be warm. It's merino, so you know it's soft. And I hope that they'll be blessed, whoever gets it. I'm going to start another soup kitchen sock too. I just haven't decided. It may be a leftover sock yarn sock. So anyways, let's see. I don't have a chemo cap because I was working on Triona's hat. But is there anything else I forgot? I don't think so. Okay. So I know I asked this last week at the beginning of the chat, but how are you guys? I hope all of you guys are doing well. Whether you're in England or Portugal, Australia, the state of Washington, wherever you're at, India, I hope you're all doing well. And yes, I have friends in all those places. I love that. So far we're doing well still. Get a little stir crazy, but praise God, we've had weather that we've been able to go outside. Excuse me. So that was my husband coming home for lunch. Anyways, yeah, I have friends at all those places. It's so far from what I've heard, they've not caught the virus. But and like I said, I have a bird on the clothesline. Been a little stir crazy, but with the weather we've had, more times than not over the past few days, we've been able to get outside. I can go out there and read or knit or do some gardening, and it's just really nice. And then, of course, with things starting to bloom, because I have my forsythia out the one window, I have a pecan tree that the flowers are opening. And so I'm looking forward to that. Last year it had a couple blooms on it, but this year it's going to be a full bloom. We probably won't get any pecans because it does not have another one that it can pollinate from, because we just planted a baby one this year. So anyways, lots of exciting, beautiful, natural things going on, which is nice. I like it when I can go outside and praise God for the things He's doing. And if you notice, it's a good thing I don't get out much, because my hands are always on my face. I have to wash my hands so many times a day. Then I had something wonderful happen this week, and it's happened before. I had somebody who wanted the Amazon gift card, and she gifted it back to me. And so I was able to order some yarn from Amazon. I do the same thing when people give me knit picks, gift cards. It's just such a blessing, because I use that for soup kitchen socks. So yeah, so I thank anybody who's done that, or somebody who's told me to just go on to Ravelry and buy myself a pattern for my queue or whatever. So I don't say that to make you feel like you need to give your gifts back. I love giving your prizes to you. I really do. But then when I have you do that, I always turn to my husband and say, well, it was gifted back to me, so I'm going to use it for Soup Kitchen. And he agrees. So anyways, you are so loved. I praise you. I thank you. I bless you. Big special hugs to all you guys. And then when people send me yarn for Soup Kitchen or for my chemo kids, just makes me feel really blessed that I'm able to. I think of that person whenever I'm working with the yarn. So it's like their love and my love is going into the item. Now, something really fun. Oh, I didn't check out Knit Picks again today. I am just horrible. So I was missing my grandkids. You know how that is. I did hear from my son because he used to work. Sorry, I'm trying to bring up the nitpick site. Um, he used to work in the adolescent psych ward at a hospital in the evenings. And so he's had some experience with hospitals, but he's also studying to be a doctor right now. So I wasn't sure with his experience if they would call him in to do something like take temperature or something, which worries me a little because, um, sorry, I was just noticing something on my phone. So it worries me because, they get in close contact. Anybody who's in that field worries me. It's just like my husband having to go into a store or something. Yes, it worries me a little. But, when he comes home and washes his hands and all that, I know that he's doing what he can do. Now, oh, anyway, so I was missing my grandkids. And they're in California. And yesterday I just decided, you know what? I'm going to Google Duo them, which is Google's video chat that you can do with people. And so I did it, it's my daughter's phone, but I just love it because when I want her, I call her and we talk on the phone. But when I want to talk to kids, she knows I'm Google Duoing them. And very first face I saw was my granddaughter. And first thing out of her mouth, at the same time it came out of my mouth, is, I've missed you. And a couple weeks ago, she asked me if I would be her pen pal. And so I sent her a letter, and I wanted to make sure she got that. She did. And so I talked with her for a little while. She picked up a really pretty, sparkly notebook, her mom did, at Target. And then Tobias, oh my goodness, he got a big old bag of dinosaurs, along with a plastic volcano and little rocks and a tree. And he was showing me every dinosaur, and he was telling me what they each were. And then we got talking about omnivores and herbivores, and he knew all of that. And he decided that he's a carnivore and his sister's an herbivore. Although his mother said, I think he should be a cheesivore, because that's his favorite food, cheese sticks. So anyways, we had a nice talk about yesterday. It was just so fun, and I came away with this smile because I told him, I said, I needed a smile today, and I knew where I could get one. So, and I got to see my daughter a couple times because as the kids would be running by with the phone, Mom would get in the picture sometimes. So I got to see Molly too. And I told the kids, you're going to be talked about on my podcast tomorrow because you just make me smile. So anyways, I do want to let you know Knitpicks was stopping their orders for a little bit because they were so backlogged. And but now they say we're back. Orders are now shipping. We're working around the clock to process your orders. Because they were saying that they weren't sure how frequent orders would be getting out for a couple weeks. So let's see what's on sale at Knitpicks. I haven't looked because I really didn't want to be tempted. So their Shine yarn is on sale. That's their monthly sale. I've never worked with Shine. It's always sounded like it'd be a pretty yarn. It's, I don't know how you say it, Pima. I don't know if that's Pima cotton, and then 40% modal, naturally beechwood fiber. And they have their sports weight and their worsted weight. And they're both 20% off, and they're both $3.19 a skein. I didn't mean to bring that up. So let's see, what else do they have, because they always have lots of things on sale. Oh, that's right, their book sales. 40% off of their book. So if there's a book in their stash or in their library that you like, this would be a good time to get it. Then they're having sweet sweater savings. Save on $10, 10 plus skeins of cotton yarn. 10% off. That's nice. That's like their winter sale that they had with not cotton yarn. Cotton yarn's nice to work with this time of year. That's where the Pima, whatever, fiber would be really nice. And of course they have their clearance up to 60% off. So then I turned my phone off. which isn't good because I wanted to go back to my show notes. I think that was it, but um, like I said, I do have a book I'm reviewing. I'll be putting it in a separate video at the end of this. So if you don't want to see it when I say goodbye on this video, you can turn it off then. Or if you want to see it, it shouldn't take more than a couple minutes. But I like to do this on video now because then I can send it right to them and they can see me showing the book and everything. But it's going to be Operating in the Power of God's Grace, Discovering the Secret of Fruitfulness, by Robert Henderson, forward by Mark Sharona. So I'll be reviewing that book in a few minutes. Anyways, I think that's about it. And I know that this got cut off partway through because I accidentally hit the camera button. So if there's a little glitch halfway through, I'm sorry about that. Anyways, I hope you guys have a safe, wonderful, healthy week. I hope you're able to stay inside as much as you can. Well, stay home as much as you can. Isolate yourself. Catch up on your podcasts. Catch up on your craftiness. Anyways, I hope all your craftiness goes very well. I hope you don't have mistakes, but if you do, I hope they're little ones that are easy to correct. I love you all. Big, big hugs. And I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Hello. My name's Kim, and I'd like to take this time just to review a book that I've read recently. This is a book called Operating in the Power of God's Grace, Discovering the Secret of Fruitfulness by Robert Henderson. I received this book from Chosen Publishing, and it is excellent. It tells you about God's grace. And, well, let me read the description on the back because it really does sum it up very well. When God looks at me, does he disapprove? Have you ever felt like that? I know I have sometimes. Many believers wonder in times of difficulty if God really and truly cares. If this is a question you ponder, be assured that his gaze towards you is one of kindness and love. God is ready to pour out his unmerited favor on his children, but it is up to us to receive it. Let me tell you, just reading that paragraph, it sent shivers up my spine because it is amazing how God can look at us with love. And this book emphasizes that so much. It talks about seeking mercy, finding grace, grace versus works, which is amazing to me. The grace of God, because a few of these other chapters, grace attached to purpose, and it goes on and on. I mean, if you are going through a time of hardship right now, as many are right now, or if you're looking for a source of strength, this is a good book to turn to. It will tell you how to use the Bible, how to turn to God. And let me tell you, this is a wonderful book to have on hand to review once in a while, to see God's love, or help you see God's love. Anyways, I think this is a great book to have in your collection. Robert Henderson is a Christian leader. Let me tell you a little bit about him. His teaching empowers the body of Christ to see the hidden truths of Scripture clearly and then apply them for breakthrough results. So, I recommend this book. And if you read it, I hope you like it as much as I do. Thank you. Bye-bye.